You.
You're welcome.
Hi, I love both of you, but this is for David. And I really met my husband in college, and we bonded over X-Files, and he taught me how to watch smart, thoughtful, invoking comedy / sci-fi. So he got me into it via X-Files. So I stopped watching the rest of the stuff that was not as thought-provoking. So thank you for that. That was huge. So anyways, David, this is my question for you. During X-Files, I've noticed like this evolution in your character, that he was a little more straight-laced, he had a little bit of comedy, he was badass, but he really evolved it. Did the writers started to write towards your personality, because you have a very strong personality, and you seem very much like you're so yourself and comfortable in your skin, and you really like are funny and dynamic. Did you kind of take a little bit of Fox Mulder and make him your own?
Well, I think that's what actors do, you know. And if you're on a long-running show, you know, the character is going to just keep growing. It's not going to change radically. I've said, you know, as much as I would want to have changed it at certain times because I was maybe getting into a rut, I couldn't come and have a French accent all of a sudden as Fox Mulder. There are limits to what you can change.
But he seemed funnier, like, I mean...
Well, I think at the beginning, the show was not funny, you know, or at least that wasn't one of the aspects that it led with. And I think that was discovered over the years, and that was partly maybe a combination of me, but it was also hiring writers who, like Morgan and Wong, who wrote funny stuff. Glenn Morgan especially wrote funny stuff. It was a function of what I've always said about the show, that I think what makes it a great show is that the frame was so flexible that it could encompass Monster of the Week, whatever you want to call it. It would encompass this thriller. It could be a thriller. It could be a nasty kind of horror slasher flick. It could be straight sci-fi. And then it could be comedic sci-fi. And then it could be a love story. And it could be a drama. So I can't think of any other show really. I'm not an expert watcher, so I could be talking out of my ass, but I can't think of any other show that is that flexible. So I think what happened, we got to go for so many years that we got to flex every aspect that was inherent to the original conception that Chris thought of. And I don't think Chris knew himself how funny it was going to be. None of us knew when we started that we were going to be able to take it so far.
Well, make sure that you do Saturday Night Live again. You rocked it. David, do who, what?
What is that? I don't know what that means.
Saturday Night Live with Mango.
Oh, Mango.
The funniest Saturday Night Live was with you on it. So please do it.
Oh, I love Mango. Thank you.
I have to say, to add to that, though, David's sense of humor and his bravery to try shit was I think was a huge part of it also, because I mean he tried things that you know, he'd throw it out there. If it didn't work, it didn't work. But there were a lot of times, a lot of that stuff, he'd throw it out there and it worked, and it was hilarious. So I mean, a lot of it is his sense of humor is
mic drop.
Smart and funny. You can't really get that too often. So.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thanks, Mitch. That was kind.
Okay.
Thomas Ligotti in the 90s penned a script called Crampton. He's a horror author. I don't know if you guys remember this. It was picked up by the X-Files, but then it was never made. And it's become something of a lost script. And I don't know if you guys have any idea whatever happened to that or why it was made or anything, nothing. No. So I'm going to go.
First
nice talking to you. See you later.
Are you Thomas Ligotti?
No, I wish.
Okay. This is what I'm talking about.
I just wanted to thank you guys for loving the characters of Mulder and Skinner enough to want to come back after all these years. So thank you.
Yeah, you gotta love the. We had to. You're right. That's a very interesting, sweet, perceptive thing to say.
It really is.
Well,
I also had a question. In the episode Triangle, where Mulder went back to the
Written by
World War
Thomas
II.
Ligotti. Oh, we got something to go back to. That triangle, go.
Jillian had the opportunity to kiss both of you in that episode.
Yeah, maybe.
If she,
She kissed me first.
well, my
Who
question
did Scully
is,
kiss first? Oh, Skinner.
I did not know that.
if she were here today, Jillian, who would she say were the better kisser?
That's just a shitty question.
I think it's just lucky that we never kissed, because that would all bets would be off. But,
Well, not on camera.
yeah.
Slash.
So it's been some time since the second movie you guys worked on it and it was released. I was curious how you guys feel about it now in retrospect, since it didn't seem to be very well received by some of the fans.
Wasn't it? I mean, it wasn't. Why?
Yeah, I felt other than the character stuff between you and Gillian Anderson
They didn't like that?
and Mitch Pileggi's appearance in it, everything else sucked. That's just
Really? Oh. Well, I think, here's what I think.
That's just my opinion.
No,
I'm just curious how you guys.
your opinion is a good one. I mean, it's fine. I think with that movie, a lot of things transpired to make it not the best movie that we could have made at that time. And part of it was budgetary, part of it was when it was released, and part of it was, it's very hard to make a movie of the X-Files, period. Because we're used to telling 24-hour stories. We're used to telling 24-hour frames. Which is why I think, I'm not saying that we can't make a great X-File movie. It has to be exactly the right thing. I don't think that was exactly the right thing. It was also coming a few years after we'd ended. So it wasn't going to please enough people that short. I think, which is why I think the television iteration that we're doing now, 6 episodes, is a much better frame for us to come back and tell an X-Files story, a 6-hour X-Files story. I'm not saying that it's one episode, it's 6 hours, but it's better for us to stretch out, because going back to what I said about it being flexible, there's a lot in this show, and there's a lot that people want to see in the show. And therefore, there's a lot of people that are going to go home unhappy if there's only, you can't put it all in 2 hours. You just can't do it. 6 hours, you can get closer. So that's what I'd say. Did I say anything at all?
It makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thanks, David.
That makes sense?
Yeah, the thing, I'm glad you answered it.
Hey guys.
You're good. You're pissing Mitch off.
Mitch, as much as I liked you as a neo-Nazi crack dealer, my question is...
That's Sons of Anarchy.
Yes. See, he knows. My question is for David. I really liked the relationship you had with the character of Charlie, played by Evan Handler, and